This Tuesday, the 22nd of August edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL Win Totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to get last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. Use promo code SGPN for $20 off. And we're brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now. Use the code DGEN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 in any college football bet, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code DGEN. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, the 21st of August, and we have a full card with 29 of 30 pitchers and lines and totals. We've got everything. We've got no excuses not to give a shit ton of winners. So the burden of that lies firstly upon Mr. Scott Reichel. Scott, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty well. I think I fixed the aliens, from affecting my sound. I think it happens every couple of months. I just have to reset my computer and it goes back to normal. So we should be back to normal.
I quite enjoyed that. I enjoyed the aliens. I enjoyed the Daft Punk references. And I enjoyed just singing that Cher song for a little while. So yeah, there was lots of stuff going on there. Our third wheel tonight is you missed all the alien fun. Lonte, how are you doing?
Yeah, big fan of aliens, man. I'm mad I missed it. But yeah, man, I'm doing good. Looking forward to breaking down the card. Glad we got full slate here. So yeah, I had back-to-back pretty good weeks. So hopefully to keep it going.
I messed with the gambling juju tonight because I'm in a different room. Because the football was on the telly, so I came in here to watch the football while I did the Premier League show an hour ago, and I've got a new notepad, so I don't know if this notepad is lucky or unlucky. So we'll have to see. It hasn't got margins, Lonte. I'm used to the margins.
I like that. I got bad eyes, so I don't need margins. All I need is just printer paper. Just write on it.
Yeah, you see, I like writing all the nuggets go in the margins. I haven't got margins, so we'll have to see how the lucky notebook goes. The people are in the chat. Trev's got a $1 soccer fine. He's then fined me for calling it soccer, which is fair enough. Dylan's here. Riley commenting on how good looking we all are, which is very, very correct. So yeah, if you are in there, say hello and chuck us out some stats and facts and figures and bets, and we will get to you. No day sport to discuss yet. Monday hasn't got underway. So yeah, no day sport tomorrow either, actually. That's disappointing for me. But we will start Tuesday's games with a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Chicago Cubs and the Detroit Tigers. We have Drew Smyly, left-handed pitcher for the Cubs. We have Reese Olson going for the Tigers. It's -120 on Chicago. It's +102 on Detroit. You can have an 8.5 or a 9 if you want on the total. And Scott is going to tell us who's going to win.
For me, I can't back Smyly. I can't believe he's still getting starts this year. The Cubs are the better team, but I can't trust Smyly, simply put. I'll look for maybe Detroit team total over, but I understand why the line's short and why it might be appealing to take Chicago, but I can't trust Smyly at all. So give me the Tigers team total over. Maybe first 5 team total over, if you can get that at 1.5. But I'll just keep fading Smyly because you've made a lot of money fading him for the last couple months.
Yeah, short and sweet like that, Scott. Solid start. Lonte?
Yeah, I'm with you, Scott. I mean, he's been in the bullpen, but, he's going to return to the lineup because of the injury to Stroman. I think Stroman's on a 15-day IL, I think it is. But, yeah, I mean, he could be limited, like, as far as, how long he's going to go. So, even then, I still would favor Detroit here. Both teams have won 6 of the last 10. Both been going well towards the under. I kind of like the under here. 9 of the last 10 have went under for Detroit. 7 of the last 10 have went under for Chicago. I mean, it's always dicey with Smyly on the mound, but I think we can get under this number. So I like the under, lean to Detroit at home.
No, I've gone the other way, Lonte. I've gone to the over here. So Smyly, I know, bad start. Smyly's had 3 1-inning bullpen appearances, and they've been okay. But his last 2 starts, going back a little while, were absolutely horrid. And there's nothing to recommend him. You're right. But I'd struggle to take Detroit with a pitcher on the mound who's got a 6.20 ERA in his last 5 starts. And I mean, you need a lot of things. You need a lot of ticks in a lot of boxes if you want to take Detroit on any given day. So this doesn't fit for me. I just thought both pitchers would get smashed up, one or both of them. In that case, the 8.5 look like the total we could get to. So that will be my pick. We will go to a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Colorado Rockies and the Tampa Bay Rays. We have Ty Blatch going for Colorado and Zach Littell, 2 pitchers with names that we can't pronounce, going for Tampa Bay. Plus 220 Colorado, minus 250 for Tampa Bay. Totally set at 8.5. Lonte.
Yeah, so I'm going to go simple. Tampa Bay team total over. I lean to them on the run line. Maybe you can get a reverse run line. Not a reverse run line, but like a minus 2.5 to get some plus price on it. I mean, Tampa's offense, 6+ runs in 4 straight games. They've covered 7 of the last 10 run lines. They also, when they play well at home, obviously, but they covered a run line at home also, 37 and 24 on the run line at home. And that's really impressive, being that you don't get all 9 at bats. So I like Tampa on the run line. I mean, Colorado's horrible, 24 and 39 on the run line in road games. They've lost 7 of the last 10, 23 games under 500 on the season on the road. I mean, small sample size, but Ty Blatch, I mean, I guess he's been fine, but again, do I trust him here against this Tampa offense who's been rolling lately? I can't do it. So give me Tampa team total to go over. Lean to them on the run line also.
Okay, one for Tampa, Scott.
I think I'm going to disagree. I think I'm actually going to take Blatch and the Rockies. It would not shock me if the Rays win the game because, once again, they're the much better team. I'm not laying 250 with Zach Littell. That's just not going to happen. Like, I'm taking Blatch.
Me either.
I just think that, once again, you're looking at a price point where, if I had to price it myself, I'd probably have the Rays at like 200, maybe 210. 250 on Littell, like, that's just way too high to me. Blatch has been fine, and maybe the Rockies can find a way to, get by by going through Blatch's last couple of starts. 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 1 run. He was not very good against St. Louis, 4 2/3, 4 runs, but he had 5 innings scoreless against the Athletics, 3 innings scoreless against the Marlins. He's been fine. Now, once again, would it shock me if the Rockies lose? No, because they're a really bad baseball team. But for the sake of this price, it seems too high to me. I'll go with the Rockies here. At some point, you got to flip a coin to some degree, and if I told you that Littell's laying this number and I didn't tell you who they were playing against, you'd probably be tempted by the other team automatically. I'm tempted by Blatch here. I think there's some value on it.
Completely agree. It's not actually my pick, Scott, but it very, very nearly was. And I might still just have a cheeky tenner on them at plus 220. We talked him up last week, or I talked him up last week, and he did okay. Lonte said he's been serviceable. Like, Zach Littell, all of a sudden, is like Tampa Bay's frontline starting pitcher when he didn't get a mention on the show until the start of June or whatever. And he's gone all right as well, but certainly not backable at this price. I've taken a first 5 under here. I'm going to back Blatch to keep it steady, and Littell's been going fine as well. So I'll take the first 5 under. But yeah, if I had some pizza money flying around, it would be certainly going on Colorado. When we get into the next game, I'm going to tell you first about a couple of our sponsors here, our advertisers here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. The first of which is DraftKings. DraftKings are primed and ready, I hope you are, for college football. The traditions, the tailgates, the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers score $200 in bonus bets instantly if you bet just $5 on any college football bet. It was Notre Dame, how do you pronounce it? To beat Notre Dame to beat Navy, I believe. Scott was the pick you threw out earlier on.
It was to beat by a decent margin, but yeah, I'll give you a better answer later in the week when I actually do more research on the card.
So when Scott gives that out, go and get your $200 bonus. Use the code DGEN. And you'll get that bet instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code DGEN. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net in partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please Play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 or over in most eligible states. Age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football. Bosh. Game time. The ticket people. This is a good one. Tickets are a pain in the backside to either buy or organise or know exactly what you're doing. Game time will sort that stress out for you. The fast and easy way to buy tickets for whatever you want to go to, sports, music, comedy, any theatre near you. Killer deals on last minute tickets too. You get a best price guarantee. A lot of the boys at the network have used Game Time and the experience has been top class. You can find and buy tickets for any kind of event, lowest price guarantee. So you can just start planning the fun rather than sweating about the tickets. Football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, and the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and roll for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Tickets sent directly to your phone. You won't have to dig through your email. So totally pain-free experience. Loads of positives here. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Okay. That was epic. 6:40 Eastern First Time. It's the San Francisco Giants at the Philadelphia Phillies. San Francisco have left-handed pitcher Kyle Harrison going to the hill, and Taijuan Walker goes for the Phillies. Plus 114 on the Giants, minus 135 on Philly. Total is 8.5. Interesting this, and the line surprised me when I saw them. Kyle Harrison is a new name. He will be debuting tomorrow. Ranked the 25th prospect MLB pipeline. Lefty. And what we know, we don't really know too much about him. He had a hamstring. He was going along okay this season, had a hamstring. Came back about 3 weeks ago. So he's going to be on a pitch limit. I know that much. I reckon we're going to get about 60 pitches out of him. A walk prop might be an issue. I don't know how, one of you boys might be able to tell me how sharp or how good the books are at putting props up on these rookie pitchers that they've never seen. He's pitched 65 innings in the minors. He's had 48 walks in that time. So that's a big old problem for him. And other than that, it's suck it and see with the rookie pitcher as always. Taijuan Walker has just had very average results lately. 13-5 on the year with a 4.03 ERA. 3, 4, 2, 2, 4 earned runs. It's fine. Philly have won 3 and lost 2 of those. It's just all really mediocre. But that line, if Taijuan Walker puts up his standard line, that'll probably be enough to win. Philly's hitting lefties okay. I kind of feel like I've contradicted myself because I very often will go for a rookie pitcher because there's value in them. But I thought plus 115 was too skinny here. I'd take Mike Gamble a plus 160, but we're not getting that. Philly minus 135 on the money line. You're probably getting the better team. You're almost certainly, if you're not getting the better pitcher, you're getting a more prepared pitcher. I just think Philly will win. Minus 135 is just about a working man's price, I think, Lonte.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was looking to back him here, but like you mentioned, the price is just like really, really low against a Philly team who, I mean, they've been okay. And then San Francisco, they got beat up against Atlanta, but I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Philly's 34-24 at home, so they're pretty good. I thought the price was kind of cheap here for Philly. I might even look at the team total over for Philadelphia. You mentioned his walk issues. I mean, you know, Philly, they've scored 7+ in 3 of their last 4 games, and I mean, he's got to go through the top of that lineup. That's tough for a rookie. I mean, it's tough for just a veteran pitcher anyway. So I'm going to lean to Philly here. I like the team total over better. If we can get Walker to kind of settle down, get his control issues fixed. He had 6 walks in his last game. So if he can get that under control, he should be able to, you know, have a good day against I guess less than average offense as of late in San Francisco. So team total over for me for Philly, and I like Philly on the money line.
Okay, Scott.
Yeah, I think we saw it the exact exact same way because I wanted to make a case for the Giants because Philly had a mediocre weekend against the Nationals, not great, but I do think the line's a little bit too cheap. Walker's been fine, as you said before, but you're trusting a rookie who's going up against one of the better offenses in the league, and that's not a good sign. And the Giants in general have been kind of treading water lately. I just feel like you're getting a team that is a little bit underpriced here, with Philly being the more talented baseball team. I'll take Philly at home at 135.
7:05 Eastern first pitch of the St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Adam Wainwright for St. Louis, and officially TBD for Pittsburgh. I think it's Johan Oviedo. Plus 120 on the Cards, minus 142 the Pirates, with a total of 10. Scott, I didn't give you Wainwright on purpose. I know you're a big fan. Tell us all about him.
Yeah, I've faded him the entire season, and I've made a lot of money. So I'm a big fan of Wainwright. Maybe I'll buy a jersey. But for this one, it's a little bit interesting because I know Wainwright is god-awful, but now you're suddenly laying roughly 155 with Pittsburgh, and it's not entertaining to consider that. But yeah, Pittsburgh team total over, first 5 team total over, just anything involving fading Wainwright. Oviedo might be going for Pittsburgh, and he's kind of had an up and down year, so that could be a bit of a problem. Maybe lean to an over for the full game, but I can't trust Wainwright. He was even decent last start against the Mets, and he still lost. So I'll go with the Pirates, I guess, but I'll lean to the team total over. Wainwright, in my opinion, since he has not been benched, he got put on the injured list for a couple weeks, and now he's back. Is it safe to say that for a decent sample size, he's been the worst starting pitcher in the entire league? I think it's safe to say, right? Most pitchers would be demoted if they were this bad. You just wouldn't see him for the next couple of months.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
So I'll go with I'll lean Pittsburgh team total over, but I acknowledge they've not been great lately. But damn, Wainwright's terrible. So that's my thoughts on the game.
Of it, Lonte.
Yeah, I'll just expand on how terrible he's been. I mean, I got auto fade written by his name. Allowed multi-home runs in 2 of his last 4. 2 of his last 4 starts, 22 earned runs in his last 4 starts combined. He's only went over 3 innings pitched 3 times in his last 8 starts, so he's not getting a lot of length. I think he was pulled after like 1 inning, like he didn't even finish the inning, I don't think.
Yeah.
And like his previous start before his last one, so like 2 starts ago. And I mean, Pittsburgh, I like them offensively better than some of the more bottom tier teams, but
I did a few weeks ago. They've been in a slump lately, but still.
Yeah, but Wainwright on the mound, they should be able to get out of that slump. If they can't, then they're in trouble. But if it is Oviedo, he had 2 bad starts in between some pretty good outings. He had 1 earned run, a few in 4 of his last 7. So I think he should be somewhere in the middle. Maybe I give up 2 or 3 here. So I like Pittsburgh's team total over. I like Pittsburgh on the run line also.
I'm going to take a guess on what Malcolm has for this game. So initially I looked at the line and I saw Pittsburgh minus 155, and I wasn't a fan of that. But then I saw Wainwright, and I have capital letters "Nope" written to his name, so I was a little bit torn on what to do in this game.
Do you know what, you bastard? You're not a million miles away, right?
Yeah. All right.
My pick is
Am I right? Is that basically what happened with your thoughts on this game?
Pretty much.
Do you have "Nope" written in all capital letters next to Wainwright?
I do not. What I've got written next to Wainwright, I've got Old Yellow Situation.
Oh,
which
okay.
Do you get that?
I've been saying that
reference?
for months. Yeah, I've been saying.
Yeah. I think that's where I've got it from. I think that's why it popped into my head. Yeah, just take him out the back and shoot him in the head. I've got Pittsburgh written down at minus 142, but you and everyone else in the chat has just put me on so many better ways of playing this game, like the Pittsburgh team total or the first 5 over, stuff like that. So I've kind of let myself down with my pick. I don't actually mind Oviedo. He can get back to it. And it's also a fade of the Cards. They won last night. They scored 7 past the Mets, but they were on a little skid before that. They'd lost 4 games and only scored 5 runs in those 4 losses. So it's not just the Wainwright you can fade. You can fade the Cardinals as well. But yeah, I've got Pittsburgh as my pick. I will stick by my guns, but I didn't do a very good job of finding the best bet. So yeah, you weren't a million miles away, Scott, with my play on that one. Right, where are we going? 7:05 Eastern, Toronto Blue Jays, Baltimore Orioles. This is a good-looking game. Yusei Kikuchi, left-handed pitcher for Toronto. Grayson Rodriguez for Baltimore. Minus 115, the Blue Jays. Minus 105, the Orioles. Total is set at 8. Lonte.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore here. I like the way Grayson Rodriguez has been pitching. He's not allowing a lot of contact, only allowed over 3 hits once in his last 5 starts. Hasn't allowed over 3 earned runs in his last in those 5 starts. Also, he has 1 home run allowed in his last 6 starts. So he's doing a really good job of keeping the ball playable and inside the park. Baltimore in really good form right now. Won 7 of the last 10. Offense has been really good in the last 3 games. 26 total runs versus Oakland. I know it's Oakland, but I mean, still 26 runs in 3 games is pretty good. They've dominated Toronto in the last 5 matchups this season. And they outscored them 27-12, and 4 of those 5 matchups were in Toronto. So they're going to be at home where they're more comfortable. I mean, they do play well on the road also, but I mean, at home, big spot. This is a big series for them to keep that momentum going into the postseason. I mean, I know we still got a long time, but this is pretty good for Baltimore here to get it going. So I like Baltimore. I lean to the over also, thinking we can get some runs if Grayson Rodriguez, if he can't really keep control of the Toronto lineup. Bo Bichette came back this weekend, I think, and he looked pretty good. So maybe it can be a little bit. I can see some runs if you tell me it's going to go over. I lean that way, but I like Baltimore. I think it's a good spot for him.
We might have the stat of the night for Trev on the Blue Jays. 11-23 versus AL East opposition.
Oh, wow.
Is a bit of a sickener for Toronto back at CS, Scott.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think this line's too short, just simply put. I said a couple weeks ago I thought that Baltimore was going to once again stay in first place, and I thought that the Mariners would surpass the Blue Jays in the wild card race, and they kind of have, because Seattle's been really good lately. Toronto hasn't even been bad. Seattle's just been going crazy for the last couple weeks, but I still think Toronto's going to miss the playoffs. So I said that a while ago. I'm not a fan of their manager, and you're looking at the Blue Jays once again playing decent baseball. Baltimore's been very solid. Gunnar Henderson should have hit for the cycle yesterday, but he turned down a single to go for another double. So he actually ruined his own cycle in the game yesterday. But still, I like how Baltimore's played. I think that right now they're one of the best teams in the league. And you're looking at Toronto. I think that they are a fine wild card fringe team. But if you want to give me Baltimore at home at -115 when they're 36-23 at home, sure, I have no problem with that. And Rodriguez has been decent. Kikuchi's been fine too. I'm actually kind of leaning to the under because of that. I do think both pitchers can perform well here. But Baltimore is just much better than Toronto. You're getting a low number. So I'll take the Orioles.
Yeah, team right here. And it sounds like an entire podcast, right? Because everyone in the chat's just Baltimore smash. But I thought Baltimore would be a good price. And it turns out they are -105. Kikuchi's been great. Rodriguez hasn't been far behind, though. And Baltimore are a better team. It was pretty straightforward. So, yeah, I'll take Baltimore here at -105. Scott, I got a challenge for you between now and the end of the show. There is one pitcher on this card that I have the word nope written next to. So you called it, you just got the wrong one. So I want you to, when we get to him, I'm going to set you the challenge of sniffing him out if you can.
It's Syndergaard.
Oh, no,
it's got to be Rodon.
I thought Syndergaard was a hell of a guess. You're telling me you don't have nope written all over Syndergaard against the Dodgers?
I have got something uncomplimentary, but it's not.
Okay, he might be past the point of nope. He might also be old Yeller treatment, so that's fair. Okay, fair enough.
We get to it. If you want to have a guess in the comments,
it's got to be Detmers. Is it Detmers?
No, because Detmers almost had a no-hitter last start. He almost had a no-hitter last start.
Oh, who cares? That'll come back
saying,
down.
I feel a lot lower about Syndergaard than I do about Detmers. I don't like Detmers either, but I mean Syndergaard. Syndergaard's the definition of nope with 4 capital letters.
You're all wrong. You had one guess each and you've ruined the game.
I know, I already guessed. That's why I stopped
you lose.
I accepted my loss and I moved on.
I'll keep that shirt I've got ready to post you. The SGP Patreon I'm going to tell you about. Exclusive contests, including the NFL Win Totals contest, $1,000 first place prize. The first Gambling Podcast Stories show just got recorded. So that promises to be a belter. The Discord channel is sharp as a tack. And all the free picks and the best way to fight back against corporate gambling is at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. August is over. Time is running out to draft your fantasy football team. I've got my first draft tonight. However, Dylan Rockford is doing the draft for me because it's at 2:00 in the morning, Cody's Eve. And everybody else from the network couldn't move it selfishly wouldn't move it. Captain Sano, you're to blame as well. So Dylan is going to draft me 17 Jets overnight, so I'm delighted about that. So Underdog Fantasy, what have we got? Best Ball Mania, the largest fantasy football contest of all time, $15 million, including a quite absurd $3 million going to the winner. You need to get championship ready for your home league by trying out best ball on Underdog. If you didn't see any of draft day last week, you'll absolutely get the right idea. The time is now. The last day to draft your fantasy football team is September the 7th. Visit underdogfantasy.com or find them in the App Store and sign up with the promo code SGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, 7:05 is the Washington Nationals and the New York Yankees. Josiah Gray for Washington and Carlos Rodon, left-handed pitcher for the New York Yankees. He is not the nope of the night. Gray is 7-10 with a 3.96 ERA. And he's struggling lately. 5 earned runs in his last 3, and not going deep either. 3, 4, and 3 innings pitched. It's a shame, really, because we were quite high on Gray. I was enjoying his season. He's got really good stuff. He just doesn't. He's just having a little bit of a lull, sort of down part of his cycle. But the Nats are playing well. They were really aggressive last night against Wheeler. Really aggressive. They came out first pitch swinging and got a lead 4-0, and then hung on to it really, really well.
I was going to say they didn't score after the first inning, but they didn't.
No,
win the game.
I'd back the over. And I went to bed delighted with myself, thinking I would cash that, and woke up furious that I didn't. I've had a few odd moments this week. One of them we discussed was nearly backing the Mets to make the playoffs, and I nearly backed the Nationals to win the World Series this morning at 5,000 to 1, which I'm not sure is a good idea or not. Carlos Rodon, 1-4, 7.33 ERA. He's just miles away, absolutely miles away from where he should be. One good start against the Mets, which doesn't really count. The Yankees have lost 8 games in a row. Like I say, Nationals playing well, hitting lefties. You can't back the Yankees. You have to take the Nationals at plus 168, I think, Scott.
Yeah, of course. I can't believe that the Nationals are getting 168. The Yankees, I faded for the entire weekend against Boston. I saw Garrett Cole was laying 170 on Saturday. I laughed. I cashed an easy winner. Then I saw that they were favored by like 120 on Sunday. I laughed again. I made money again because they lost again. Yankees are a bad team. They're just a really, really bad baseball team. There's nothing else to say. I mean, the problem that you run into, not even just for the Yankees, but for some other teams around the league, like the Cardinals, if you had actual expectations going into the season, and you're not even close to those expectations, and your team's slumping late in the year, your team is more likely to roll over and die than other teams because you thought your team was going to be better. The morale for the team is shot. The Yankees were projected to maybe win the division. They're below 500. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're further away from a playoff spot right now than the Nationals. That's a fact. It's actually a fact. The Nationals are closer to a playoff spot than the Yankees right now. I'm fading the Yankees. They've lost what? They've lost 8 straight and they're laying like 180? I mean, that's insane. Like, give me the Nationals. Like, what the hell is that line? Rodon hasn't pitched in a month and he was terrible anyway. Right? I mean, like, am I missing something?
No, you are absolutely right. You're just very funny with it. I'm all for it. It's my pick too. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's 7:10 Eastern first pitch. It's the LA Dodgers at the Cleveland Guardians. Bobby Miller for the Dodgers and Noah Syndergaard, who was not the nope of the day.
I don't know how he wasn't the nope of the day. Do you have 2 old yellers on the card?
No, I'll tell you what I've got written next to Syndergaard in a minute, but it's your turn. The Dodgers are minus 198. The Guardians are plus 168. The total is 9. Scott, you can go first.
I'll go Dodgers run line. Unlike the Yankees, they've been really, really good lately, and Syndergaard's been really bad. I'm trying to think of which player to go after for stolen bases. Because Mookie Betts is the obvious choice. Rojas? I think Rojas might be a sneaky option to maybe steal a base here, but I think that you're looking at, once again, Syndergaard allowing 3 or 4 guys to steal a base. I think the Reds stole 5 in the game that Syndergaard started in last week. 3 were against Syndergaard, though. I think they had 2 more against Hedges. I think they had a double steal there. But I'll go with the stolen bases once again for the Dodgers. Mookie might get one. Maybe Freeman gets one. Who knows? I think Rojas can get one. But Syndergaard is not very good, and the Dodgers know that because he was really bad with them earlier in the year. So give me the Dodgers minus 1.5.
Yeah, that is the only bet, really. It's my bet The price is -122, which is lovely. Bobby Miller's been really good lately. What I have written next to Syndergaard is not again.
Okay.
Because I think I took him last week, you see. So you maybe weren't to know that. Oh, I didn't take him, but I thought he might go okay.
I remember I said I like the Reds every guy to steal a base, and they had 5 stolen bases, so that worked out pretty well.
Yeah. So I just wasn't going to take him again. So yeah, if it hadn't been for that, he might have got the nope. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there was nothing much to add. Trev, Dylan, everyone in the chat's kind of concurring. Sometimes you just have to look at it, follow your instinct, and you're absolutely correct to do so. So that's one of those occasions. Dodgers on the run line, -122. I'm going to the top of the page here. It's the Mets, 7:20 Eastern first pitch is the New York Mets at the Atlanta Braves. Tyler McGill for the Mets, Bryce Elder for Atlanta. +194, the Mets. -218 on the Braves with a total of 10. Tyler McGill, 7-6 on the year, 5.53 ERA. His struggles very much reflect those of the Mets. He was okay last time against Pittsburgh. But his road starts have been a huge problem. 8.20 ERA on the road. Has faced the Braves a couple of times this season too. 11 innings pitched, 13 hits and 4 walks with 8 earned runs. So yeah, Tyler McGill's must be feeling a massive fear at this point. And I fear for him going into this situation. I think you probably know that Elder, I'm not hugely convinced by. He was struggling. But then the Dr. Yankees sorted him out. He paid a little visit to the Yankees.
They won the entire game.
Yeah, they solved all of his problems. So that was kind of them. However, it is the Yankees, so that doesn't really mean much. I think he's a little bit shaky still. The 10's high, but I think we can get there. I'm going to say 9-4 is the prediction. Atlanta win this 9-4. We'll get over 10. Scott.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page, but I think I am going to lean the Braves run line. It's going to be a similar handicap to yesterday because you had Peterson, now you have McGill. You're not a fan of anybody the Mets throw out there in the rotation, but the Braves have just owned this team, simply put. They're more talented at basically every position, and you're just looking at what there is to like about the Mets, and you're still waiting because you don't really like anything about the Mets. Having said that, you think they might make the playoffs, so I don't know. Maybe you can sway me, but
For about 90 seconds on Sunday, I thought that was
yeah,
it.
either way. Not even Nationals World Series on your mind. But I do think when you're looking at this matchup, I got to go with Atlanta. They're the better team. They're great at home, and they've dominated the Mets all season long. It's a pretty clear-cut case for me. I'm just going to take Braves run line and move on.
8-10 Eastern first pitch is, by the way, you might have noticed Lonte has gone away, but it's fine. The aliens might have got him. We don't know, but we are aware that Lonte has disappeared. So don't phone the police or anything. We did know he was leaving. 8-10 Eastern first pitch is the Boston Red Sox at the Houston Astros. Tanner Houck is back for the Red Sox, and Justin Verlander goes for Houston. +132 Boston, -142 the Astros. 8 or 8.5. Scott, can you lead us off with Boston at Houston?
Yeah, it might sound a little bit, I'd say, unexpected, but I'm going to go with Boston at plus money here. I backed Verlander last start, and I won. Not because of him, though. He did not pitch well against Miami, but luckily Luzardo was terrible, and Houston got the job done. But, yeah, I'm not going to fade Boston. I think that they're in good form. I watched them over the weekend, and once again, they were against the Yankees, so put an asterisk by that sweep. But still, the point is they've been playing some good baseball. They're trying to fight for a playoff spot. Houston got swept over the weekend by the surging Mariners, and I think that once again, Houston is going to be fine in the grand scheme of things. But Boston's been good, just simply put. I think they're a solid team, and you're looking at Verlander struggling last time out against the Miami offense. That's been better lately that I'm still not a big fan of in general. I'm going to lean Boston at plus money. I like their current form, and there's some value on it, in my opinion.
This is really, really, really hard. You look at Verlander, and you kind of name recognition. So you're trying to then find a way out of that. But you're right, he hasn't been great. He only had 3 starts for Houston, only one of them at home. And they won that game 11-3.
That was against the Angels, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's been a lot of these games where if it's against the Mets, it doesn't count. If it's against the Yankees, it doesn't count. That's obviously slightly tongue-in-cheek. But the Angels are fairly similar. It wasn't a bad performance, but 6 innings and 3 earned runs. And I like Tanner Houck. He's been out since June the 16th. But generally, whenever he pitches, I'm kind of a fan of what he does. And I found a lot of success in taking the Red Sox recently. They're never a particularly prohibitive price due to the pitches that they roll out. So I'll take Boston in the first 5 here. It's going to be close. But yeah, it won't take much. One swing of the bat, and at the prices, plus 132. I'm going to take Boston to get this done early. Okay. Next up is back down the board. 8:10 Eastern first pitch. Seattle Mariners at the Chicago White Sox. Seattle officially TBD, likely to be George Kirby, we believe. And for the White Sox, it will be Mike Clevenger. Minus 148 on Seattle, plus 124 on the White Sox. Total is 8.5. George Kirby, 10-8, 323 on the year. Going really, really well. Like him a lot. Fun pitcher to watch on a fun team. Gave up 4 earned against Kansas City last time. It wasn't a disaster. He just gave up a couple of hard hit balls at inappropriate times. It wasn't like he came out and pitched badly. He's got a historically good walk to strikeout ratio, 266 strikeouts to 36 walks. I think he's breaking records. I saw a stat today where for pitchers under the age of 25, I think it's the best ratio that anyone's ever had, going back to 1901 or something. And the Mariners are absolutely frying. We took them on Friday night to make the playoffs at plus 130. If the playoffs started today, Seattle get Minnesota. I mean, I don't know what price they are now. I bet that plus 130 must have gone already. It was a good time to take it, but Seattle make the playoffs. They then get the Twins, who they're considerably better than. There's some value in Mariners futures if you have a look around at the moment. Mike Clevenger's been in excellent form for Chicago, 5-5, 326 on the year. But he has a 130 ERA in his last 5. It's one of the very few things about the White Sox you can trust at the moment. I've got this as a bit of a pitching duel. First 5 under, Scott, is my bet.
Yeah, that was my exact play. I like Seattle as well, but I know, of course, the prices have jacked up on Seattle because they've been that good. I'm not going to stand in front of a freight train, though, so I'm not going to pick the White Sox, but I know Clevenger has been pretty good lately. I like Kirby a lot as well. I think he's a solid pitcher. I'm with you on the first 5 under. Pretty short and sweet.
8:10 Eastern first pitch. The Minnesota Twins at the Milwaukee Brewers. We have Bailey Ober for Minnesota, and we have Wade Miley, left-handed pitcher, going for the Brewers. Minus 110. This is tight on the books. Minus 110 Minnesota and minus 106 on the Brewers. Total is set at 8.5. I like Bailey Ober. Sort of minimum 2 earned runs.
He's going no length anymore. He's going less than 5 in the third and 4 straight, though. That's the problem.
He's hit the little down part of his cycle, I think. He's given up a lot of hits as well. His whip's quite high. And he's struggling to keep the ball in the park. There's home runs every start now as well. So if you can try and find a Brewer to hit one out, is an option. Miley, he's got a 3.12 ERA in his last 5 starts. And that might be good enough, I think. You couple that with the fact that Minnesota are hitting 227 against left-handed pitching. The Brewers have won 3 in a row before the Monday night game. So it's close. So you're looking for little things that are going to split the two teams. And just that, the Twins against the lefties, the Brewers having a decent run, Miley in good form. All the nudges are nudging you towards the Brewers. Milwaukee on the money line, minus 106 for me, Scott.
Yeah, I agree. I think this price is a bit too short. I feel like, once again, Minnesota's been in good form. Milwaukee, though, has also been in pretty good form. People keep talking about how the Cubs keep winning and how, the Cubs might be able to surpass the Brewers. Brewers are still up 3. They've been holding serve. They've been doing their thing. Once again, not in a flashy way. I know the offense kind of woke up a little bit over the weekend. But Milwaukee's been sturdy. They've been, a steady first-place team, and I think that you're getting a pretty good price with them. Miley's been in good form, and Ober, I'm not the biggest fan of right now. I think he's always been a fine pitcher, but he was kind of, in my opinion, overachieving earlier this season, and it does seem like he's kind of regressed back to the mean. I don't like Minnesota's bullpen. I think we agree on that. So if Ober's going to give you no length, I have a lot more faith in Milwaukee's bullpen in the final couple innings than Minnesota's. So I'll lean to Milwaukee at home on the money line.
Sturdy is an excellent descriptive word to use there, Scott. I once described the IT department's legs as sturdy. and she wasn't thrilled. I thought it was a
It
compliment.
depends what decade you're in. I don't know if you can say that anymore.
Yeah, it was quite recently, but
Okay.
yeah, it was a windy day, and I said she'd be all right because of her sturdy pins. But there you go. So she wasn't thrilled, but the Brewers might be. Where are we going? 9:38 Eastern first pitch. The Cincinnati Reds at the LA Angels. Andrew Abbott, we think, for Cincinnati, officially TBD. Lucas Giolito, am I on the right page?
Well, Giolito was supposed to pitch on Monday,
Yeah.
but the game got rained out, so he's probably pitching Tuesday.
Oh, I'm
It's gonna be a
seeing lots of
doubleheader, I
names.
guess.
Yeah, I'm seeing lots of names here that we handicapped yesterday. Blake Snell's underneath. That's why I looked at Giolito, panicked, looked down and saw Snell, and we handicapped him last night as well, didn't we? Okay, well, I had Reed Detmers, obviously, as discussed earlier on. I think everyone had Reed Detmers down, so I don't quite know where to go with this, Scott. Andrew Abbott, he's got a yes written next to his name. His last two starts, he's been back to normal. He had a couple of little shaky episodes, but his last two starts are exactly how he should be. I did handicap Giolito last night, so I still should have the notes somewhere. Have you got much for this one, Scott?
For me, I was just going to keep fading Giolito. It's not as fun as backing Ashcraft, as I know we both were in favor of yesterday, but still, I can't back Giolito. He's made 4 starts with the Angels. They've not exactly gone well, and I think that, once again, the Reds have some firepower that can get to him, and Giolito gives up a lot of contact and a lot of home runs. Not a great combo facing off against Cincinnati. The Reds have been struggling a bit lately. Offensively, they struggled over the weekend, but I know that the firepower is still there. I'm still going to lean to the Reds, but I felt better about it when it was Ashcraft.
This is tremendous. I'm delighted with what's going on here. So I found my notes. I knew I had things written down about Giolito. It was 4 starts for the Angels. Earned runs, 3, 9, 3, and 4. He's given up 6 homers, and he's walked 9. So I was happy to take the Reds. We had them up plus 110 with Ashcraft, plus 132 with Abbott. I think Abbott's better than Ashcraft. So I'm happier, and we're getting a better price. Sign me up.
Most of this on recent form. I just wanted to back Ashcraft. You might be able to take the Reds in both games because you might split both pitchers in the games on Tuesday.
Yeah. Sign me up for Cincinnati at plus 132, please. 9:40 Eastern first pitch. This is the only missing pitcher we've got. Although we do have some lines. It's Kansas City Royals at the Oakland Athletics. Angel Zerpa, left-handed pitcher for Kansas City. Oakland, I have no idea who's going to pitch for them. But we've got minus 125 on the Royals, plus 105 on Oakland, with a total of 8. I can tell you a little bit about Zerpa. 1-1 with a 6.07 ERA. He started one game. He's generally been a long reliever. And apart from that, it's pretty hard to read. I don't really think it matters who goes for Oakland. I mean, we saw Sears go on Sunday. We saw, I think we're going to see Blackburn tonight, which means whoever's left, I don't think it really matters who Oakland are going to trot out. Kansas City will beat Oakland more times than not. And at minus 125, I think Gunter ahead, you'd pick that. This will be 15th on the list, I imagine, of everybody's betting cards tomorrow. But if I was forced, I would take Kansas City, Scott.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a bit disappointed, though, because I was expecting another couple-minute rant there about the Athletics AA lineup that they were going to trot out there for this game.
I did my bit last time.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to recycle the bit, because it's still going to apply for every game for the rest of the season. That's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but I'm with you on Kansas City. The only thing that stopped me from taking Kansas City yesterday was Blackburn, who, once again, I do like for Oakland. Besides him, though, the lineup's a joke, and the pitching staff's not any good. It's one of the worst teams that's ever been assembled. I said that about a month into the season. I believe at this point in the year, they have the 4th worst run differential of all time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, once again,
Beautiful.
Baseball's been around for about 130 years for the majors. 4th worst run differential of all time. I'll take Kansas City.
Dylan reckons it might be Ken Waldichuk. So yeah, there you go.
Point proven. Let's
stick with Kansas City is the right answer. Josh has turned up in the chat. Josh 34. How are you doing, Josh? Nice to have you. And the penultimate game. This has flown by, Scott. We're on good form here. The Texas Rangers at the Arizona Diamondbacks. John Gray will take on Zach Gallen. The lines are plus 112 for Texas, minus 130 for Gallen. Total, you can have an 8, you can have an 8.5. Scott, what have you got?
I'm going to lean to the under in this one. I like both pitchers here. Gray was on the short end of the stick last time out. He pitched well, but Detmers had a no-hitter through 7, and they ended up losing the game. I think it was 2-0. But Gallen's been good lately. We know his home road splits all season long have been alarming, but he's been very good at home. I like the starters here, so I'm going to lean to the first 5 under in this one. I'd consider Arizona, but I do think Texas is still the better team. But Arizona's been in good form. I'm going to do something dangerous, and I'll fade the Rangers offense and even Arizona's offense, who's been playing some decent baseball lately. Give me the first 5 under. I just like the starters in this game.
I've gone full game under, so yeah, same cat skinned.
I've seen enough of Arizona's bullpen. I'll pass entirely.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that. What got me was, I mean, you look for some sort of key pointers, and in Gray's last 2 starts, the game's finished 2-0 and 2-1. In Gallen's last 2 starts, the game's finished 3-1 and 3-0. So we're not even getting close to an over. We'll play that game again any way around you like. We'll take the under 8.5. 9:40 Eastern is the final game on the card here. The Miami Marlins at the San Diego Padres. 2 lefties going. Jesus Luzardo for Miami and Blake Snell for San Diego, who we did handicap last night, I believe. The lines are close. Plus 100, even money for Miami, and minus 120 on the Padres. Total is 8. Scott, these lines are too close together, aren't they?
For the first 5, they are. That's where I'm going. I mean, I gave it out for Snell yesterday. I'll do it again. Luzardo's bad, or at least he's been really bad lately. I know that I've been low on him for a while, and I questioned why the Marlins traded Sterling Marte for him about a year or 2 ago. Then he was good to start the year, and it looked like they might have, struck gold there, but Luzardo's regressed back to his underwhelming self, and I can't trust him. He's gotten shelled in about 4 straight starts. Snell, in my opinion, is going to win the Cy Young, but at least he's a finalist, and we know his numbers for the last couple of months. They've been incredible. Goes no length, though, so I'll take the Padres first 5, probably minus a half, but at this price, I'd be shocked if the Padres didn't close at like 140. I think this line's way too short, and I see a lot of people betting on Snell before game time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I've got one word written next to Jesus Luzardo's name, Scott. You know what that word is?
It was a nope. That's right.
It's nope. There he is.
Right.
It's Jesus Luzardo. He's right at the end. Everybody missed him hiding in game 15 of the card. And say we handicapped.
I would have guessed Luzardo, but I forgot that he was actually pitching. I get so because I'm looking at a database, and the database does not have a Miami pitcher listed. So
okay.
I was set up for failure. That's what happened.
Yeah,
I was framed. I tell you, I was framed.
I apologize for that, mate.
Okay,
this is the same pick as the handicap last night. Luzardo is nominally better than Johnny Cueto, possibly, but I pointed out last night. Yeah, true. Snell, 257 last 5, 282 at home. The Padres have won all 5 of his last of those. They've won all 5 of Snell's last starts, and they've covered the run line in all 5 as well. So it's an easy pick.
I think you were trying to say the Padres have won 5 straight Snell starts. And that's what you were trying to say.
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sort of. I had all the right words.
It looked like you got yourself in a tongue twister, so I was trying to help you out.
Yeah, right words, not necessarily in the right order. Padres run line, long story short. And now it is time to pick. I haven't got my dog and my lock ready yet. I often like to see what you and Lonte have got to say and how persuasive you can be. So lead us off, Scott.
Sure. So I was torn for the lock. I know what game and matchup I'm going to pick. The question is, do I want to take Snell money line in the first 5, or do I want to take the minus a half in the first 5? I think I'll live a little. Give me the Padres minus a half in the first 5 at plus money. Should be plus money right now. It won't be by game time, but I'll take it now. I just think Snell, once again, has been in great form for the last couple months. He doesn't go much length, but that's not my problem for the first 5. And Luzardo's been a lost cause, so I'm going to go with the Padres to get it done early in this game before maybe the bullpen blows it. But for my dog, you know where I'm going with this one. Give me the Nationals at plus 164 on FanDuel. This is a really stupid line. I don't get it. Rodon's been really bad all year. He hasn't pitched in about a month, and the Nationals have been playing some good baseball lately. Gray has not been great lately, but the Yankees can't even hit bad pitchers, so it doesn't really matter. I can't believe this line. I just don't understand it. There's a Yankees tax when this team is below 500 and when this team has lost 8 straight games. Give me the Nationals money line at plus 164.
So my dog, I've got 2 written down because I knew you were going to give that out. So
I couldn't avoid it. That price is nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it jumps off the page. Absolutely jumps off the page. The second one I'll give out is it's a show dog, we'll call them. Because like I say, I do like Washington, but we can't just give out one. It's Cincinnati again at plus 132. Abbott at Giolito. Giolito's terrible. The Angels are wobbly. And I really like Andrew Abbott. And it's just they shouldn't be plus 132. Can't believe we're getting an extra 22 points than we were with Ashcraft for effectively what looks to me like the same game. And I really like my luck, as I should. It's my luck. The Brewers to beat the Twins on the money line is minus 106. Just everything. All the ticks were in the Brewers side of the margins here. I like Miley recently over Ober. I like the Brewers generally over Minnesota. Minnesota don't hit lefties. Ober's not getting much length. He's giving up homers. Everything just was all Brewers. Everything pointed towards the Brewers. So I'll take Milwaukee at minus 106, Scott. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have done it. End of the show. Scott, do you need to tell the people about anything?
Not really. I've been busy with the tennis podcast, so U.S. Open coming up. Stay tuned for that. I know college football is coming up this weekend, so College Experience has been very busy with some previews. I might have been cramming a couple of those. I might have been watching some before I went live, so I'm trying to cram all the information right before the test.
Yeah, I started my NFL stuff today, just listening for fantasy and picks and things like that. I just started listening to Sean and Ryan's divisional previews and what have you. I recorded the Premier League show just an hour ago, and there's not much. We did a review of the weekend action.
I posted it while we were recording the baseball.
Well done, Scott. So but yeah, there's some weird old European action this week in the Champions League and the Europa League and the Conference League. So we handicapped all kinds of weird and wonderful teams. So go and listen to that. We're really good for a little winner again tonight. Crystal Palace against Arsenal. So yeah, we're chuntering along with profit every week. So go and have a little listen. But yeah, thanks everyone. The chat was live and kicking as always. We do appreciate it. Good luck with your picks tonight and tomorrow. We'll be back usual time. And we'll see you down the road. Cheers.